Sunshine Wild Pack, it's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. That's a lot of Tues. Interesting. Okay, these are the things I think of. So, today is, it's just oh, you know what just occurred to me? That's super interesting. I kept hearing the two in my head. And I was like, what is that all about? Well, today is Tuesday, the 20th, 2021, and the Two of Wands has shown up for you all today with, of course, the pink flamingo, which has two legs. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm just saying that Tuesday is the second day of the week, and it's all right. It's 2 for Tuesday. So I don't know what's going on out there in the universe for y'all, but I would say start looking for the number 2s, and that's, super big angelic energy. And so, wow. All right. We're going to get right in there to this reading for you all today. And just very quickly, if you like the content that we produce here, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so that you get all of those alerts and you don't miss a thing. Also, if you would please, if you like this video or any other, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It is one of the ways that YouTube looks at us and goes, hey, those people might have something to say over there. It might be valuable for other people. And then they spread the love around. And also, if you would share on your social media, that would be awesome blossom. So thank you very much. Let's dive right in. Now, for those of you just joining me, welcome. For the longtime subscribers, thank you so much. You're my heart. And I will say that, again, I will be on vacation from July 22nd through August 4th. There will be videos for you all, maybe not as many as I promised 2 days ago before I got deliriously inundated and exhausted, but I will not go out of communication totally while I'm gone. And there could be some surprises coming along. You never know. Because it's just, you just never know what's going to happen. So let's talk about what this card and this animal, this spirit totem and power animal mean for you all today. Now, when you take a look at the traditional tarot card meanings of the Two of Wands, which of course is in the Rider-Waite-Smith system of tarot, which is what I worked with to create the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, which is what I read from, which is my own award-winning deck. You see the fella, he's standing there in his gorgeous, sumptuous red robes, and he's got this globe, and he's just got this wand, and he's looking out over this beautiful landscape. I don't know why, but this landscape always reminds me of Italy. I don't know why, but ever since I started reading tarot about 1,500 years ago, it's always what I associate it with. And for some reason, I associate all the leaves with grape leaves and the roses. It just looks very Italian to me. So for me, when I read, or maybe for you today, there's some kind of Italian connection. And that could be as simple as, pizza sounds good for dinner. So, which by the way, if I remember correctly, I don't think pizza is an Italian invention. I know spaghetti is, and it's a Chinese invention. But anyway, I'll look that up and you can look it up too. But nonetheless, this is a really cool message for you all today, because on the last 4 or 5 days of messages, they've just been big. Like they talk about the spirit totem and power animals have come, and the tarot archetypes have come, and they've talked about all this change and these big things. And even if change is good, when it's big, when there's a lot going on, no matter how good it is, it can be exhausting. So the Two of Wands tells you it's time to take a little break, because look, you've already come a long way, right? You've invested the time, you've invested the heart, you've invested, and you might have even taken some bold but calculated risks, but you're there. And you've used whatever your talents you have used them wisely, you've used them judiciously, and you can stand firm knowing that you're okay, you're on solid ground. Now, if you take a look at the gray walls in the Two of Wands tarot card, listen, gray is a little bit of a monotonous color, and it certainly can seem pretty cold, right? Especially if it's stone, it's just gray stone, right? But that is a call that maybe what you've been working on so hard, you might feel a little isolated. You might feel a little, just out of sorts and feeling like you're a little bit lonely. and you're kind of longing to maybe even do some more exploration of the world, or get around more people. And this is going to be the time for you to do that. Now, if you take a look at the cross on the left battlement there, that's got the balancing lilies and roses, that's a big clue. The lilies symbolize your need to be free from desire, and your success has accomplished that. So you're free from that desire of like stability in terms of wealth, in terms of abundance. But when you take a look at the rose, that's always the roses are just enduring symbols for a quest for knowledge and experience, and you just want to explore. Like, okay, I've put in all this time, I've been all this focused, I've had all this concentration. Phew, okay, what is there now? Ooh, what else is new out there, right? That can boil down to, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and listen, living in Gainesville, there's a very limited amount of restaurants, a very limited amount of anything here in Gainesville. It is what it is. But it's not like being in Miami. It's not like being in LA. It's certainly not like being in New York or Chicago or any place where there's a lot of choice. And we were talking about some of our fondest times in some of the cities that we've lived in. And I lived in LA, and I used to love to spend time in Burbank. They just have great restaurants, or they did. I haven't been there in many years, and there was a bakery that opened shortly before I went out of there, and it was a Cuban bakery. I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I've been all up and around Miami and Tampa, and I thought I knew about Cuban bakeries. Oh no, the name escapes me at the moment. But what we were talking about how was on a really icky day, or just a really stress-filled day, we could walk into one of those places, have the choice to walk into one of those places, and it could be very simple as my favorite, guava and cream cheese, anything. You slap some guava on a shingle, on a roof shingle, I will eat it, right? You put some cream cheese on it, I'm in. And where I am, it's pretty limited. I mean, listen, it's kind of sad when the best bakery in town is your local grocery store, right? Okay, that's so sad. But what that means is, if today you're feeling, just kind of hemmed in, maybe a little lonely, maybe just like a little separated from the world, it can be as simple as Skyping a friend or family, or running down to the local whatever and getting yourself your favorite whatever. Because when you're starting to create that kind of magic, right? That's what this is all about. You start to juice the engines, you start to juice the energetic engines, and you start to raise the vibration of the entire environment around you. So what starts with ooh, I'm going to go get this. Then you get there, and all of a sudden, coinky dink, you happen to talk to somebody. Maybe it's somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it's a total stranger, but that just happens to be the coolest conversation you've had in a long time. And oh, by the way, oh my gosh, you guys are really upping your game on your guava and cream cheese turnovers, or croissants or empanadas or whatever, right? And that leads to this and leads to this and leads to this. So what the Two of Wands has to do with this is, again, it's about your passion. It's about your vitality. It's about, listen, Mars, the Two of Wands astrologically corresponds to Mars and Aries. So now you've got the fire of Mars. Now you've got the fire and get up and go of Aries. And as long as you're channeling that energy in really positive ways, it's almost like, you put in all this time making X, Y, and Z happen. And it's exciting because you've arrived. But in the respite that you take, in that like rejuvenation and re-energization of, is that a word even, of the Two of Wands, you might just have cleared your vessel to find your next great mission, your next great, quest that you're going to go on. And so it's, even if you thought, well, that was my opus, I've done the big thing now, I can, not rest on my laurels, but gosh, really, is there anything left for me to do? Is there, there's totally a lot for you to do. You're not over yet. You're not done yet. And even though you may not want to climb another mountain for the reasons that you wanted to climb it, the first mountain or 2 mountains or 3 mountains or 4 mountains that you climbed, you're going to find a new mountain to climb. And it's going to make you so happy. And the point is that you're already starting to work on the details. You're already seeing the bigger picture. When you look at the fella that's standing on, on the roof there, the world is in front of him and he can see the bigger picture. And so, for some of you, this might mean just about improving self, upping your spiritual game, upping relationships. It could be anything. But the point is that it's happening, and it's going to happen as long as you'll lean into it. And that's really the call of this, is, will you lean into it? Now, when you take a look at Flamingo as a spirit totem and power animal, it is about balance for them. But one of the bigger pieces of symbolism and meaning that I've always found for Flamingo is they get their food, they get their sustenance by going into shallow waters, and they stir up the sediment or whatever's there underneath, and it gets everything to swirling down there, and then they put their beaks in and they start to sift that stuff to get what their food is going to be. And I've always thought, that just always really reminded me of how we can stir the pot. And sometimes when you are stirring the pot, that can be used as a negative connotation, but I don't think Flamingo cares. I think Flamingo is the color they are, which is this beautiful, vibrant pink, because they're comfortable with standing out in a crowd, and they're comfortable with stirring up the waters. And you know what? Sometimes that's needed in life, no matter how much it may irritate other people's demons. Sometimes the waters shouldn't be as calm as they are. Sometimes the right way to go is, how do I put this? It's like, if you're hot pink, chances are you've got the courage to step up and be heard. And even in our most compassionate moments, when we're trying to be patient with someone, or not be irritated by someone, or not snap back at someone when they've snapped at us, because we're trying to be compassionate and patient during their time of unhappiness, even if they're unhappy for maybe something you did, something you said, something you didn't do, something you didn't say, something else that may be going on in their life that you have no idea about. Sometimes it's called to stir the pot, and maybe in that help both of you, or one of you, start to sift through what's really important and what's the icky stuff you just want to spit out, right? Like flamingos do. They'll sift through all what's ever churning up there in the water. They take out what they want, what they need, and then, they spit out the rest. I think I've even seen some of them here in the South with cowboy hats and spittoons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw actually the Everglades. But I'm tired. I'm bad animal jokes. It's bad animal joke day. So, but it's not bad message day. It's a really profound message. And when you take a look at the sacral chakra being the bright orange, and of course, sacral chakra is the chakra of Tuesdays, really on the color wheel, how far is orange, a certain hue of orange? How far is it from pink? They're kind of all in the same family. So when I take a look at the color, kind of the color psychology, or the color meanings and symbolism of Flamingo married with the sacral chakra, I'm like, you say tomato, I say tomato. And what is passion for you and drive for you will not be for someone else. But that's really not the point. The point is for you to get it together with your own passions and just embark out there on whatever great journey it is, even if it's just to the local bakery to get your favorite croissant or whatever sweetie goodie or savory or whatever you want. It could be just to sit down and read a good book. It could be anything. But no matter where you're at in your life at this moment, it's important that you say, enough. I've done a great job. I've got to get off the hamster wheel. I'm acknowledging that I've done a great job. I'm going to appreciate that and celebrate that about myself and the situation or situations or relationships or whatever for a little while. And I'm going to seek joy. And in my joyous moments, I'm open to my next brilliant idea. See how simple that is? But does that make you feel calm when you hear it? I sure hope so. All right. I hope that's helpful. I love y'all very much. I have to be honest. I love you, and I'm looking forward to vacation. So pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the little ringy dingy bell thingy and get all the notifications. Get on over to my forums, wildpackwisdom.com/forums, and share this stuff on social media. But as always, the most important thing, do good for animals and stay wild.